Person's in charge.
Hi, Suzanne Vernon, Scientific Director of the CFSAC Association. This question is for Stuart. Stuart, you mentioned that 4% of healthy controls in the studies, whether they be prostate cancer or CFS, were XMRV positive. Was that virus isolation positive? Do we know that? And if so, does this kind of make the XMRV more believable?
No, that 4% was PCR positive.
Okay.
If that 4% had been virus positive, that would have changed the landscape considerably. But that was 4% found DNA, possibly DNA fragments that were derived from XMRV.
Prostate cancer too, and the percent, I think it was 2.5% in prostate cancer.
Yeah, the numbers vary between 2.5 and 4%, but all of these at the time, this was in 2009, 2008, all of these were simply based on PCR. So no virus isolation, no virus cultivation had been done at that stage.
Mm-hmm.
Got the mic over there.
Art could have caught it if you threw it to him.
Hi, thank you. My question is for Ryan Glazer. The design that you've been using is to compare a group of subjects at baseline and then after stress, and you find that with stress there's more reactivation of the virus. And I wondered if you had information on some of the individual patients or the individual students, so you could see if there's a relationship of reactivation with changes in the individual students, that even though there's a general stressful situation, they all may not respond the same. There may be other risk factors that relate to reactivation. And I wondered if you had looked at individual risk factors for reactivation, which could be useful both in confirming your hypothesis and then checking to see if some of those risk factors are actually related to things that could be examined as risk factors for chronic fatigue syndrome.
No, we didn't look.
Did you have that information on individuals?
No.
You weren't the IRB, didn't you? You just collected group information.
These were done in 1982, 83, 84, when this was fairly new area, and this was doing 78 or 100 medical students. I mean, getting the data that we got on those was a pretty big deal, considering the NIH wasn't too supportive in those days with the grant support. So we basically had a bootleg. We bootlegged a lot of that stuff with here and there with dragging people off the streets to come and work in the lab. So no, we didn't do that.
Is it possible to look at individual risk factors? I mean, is that a study that you think would be worthwhile and practical?
Well, the studies we do now, we do comorbidity studies. So we have data that at least that could have impact on our outcome.
That comorbidities that you, but you're not looking at sort of like risk factors for responding to this stress. No. Is that correct?
You need to understand that the practical issue of this partnership with my wife. Jan is the clinical psychologist. She designs these studies. I just do the lab work. I get the blood samples. I do the lab work. That kind of question goes to Jan because she designs these studies.
I'll get her email address.
Okay.
She's pretty good.